Howdy YouTube, welcome to RV Daydream. We're going down into the dungeon. Oh my. Down into the basement. Got some fans running because we got a little bit wet down here. We get just a little tiny moisture in here, and that fan usually takes care of it. So why am I in the basement? Because I'm getting ready to fill the RV up with some good softened water. This is softened water. The faucets outside aren't. We're going to stay in the RV. We're not going anywhere quite yet. I want to talk about that though. I hope I can talk about it on this video. We'll see. Cue the intro.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
It's a beautiful day out. It surely is that. Our neighbor's playing some music back here. It's going to be chilly though. Right now, currently it is, let me think, about 70 degrees. Tomorrow's high is only going to be in the 60s. Tonight's low is going to be the upper 50s. What you do is unroll the entire reel and hook that hose directly up to what's inside. But yeah, really nice day. Look at the clouds. Definitely a nice cool day. Wow, I didn't look over this way. It looks cloudy, don't it? It looks dark and cloudy. It looks stormy and cloudy. I didn't remember seeing anything in the radar saying that there was going to be any rain today. Let's see here. Yeah, partly cloudy. Just says partly cloudy. Oh, with isolated sprinkles this afternoon. Guess what? It's afternoon. Let's see. All I got to worry about is the this tote that's out. Let me put the tote up in the bay here, and that'll allow me to not worry as much if it does start to isolate sprinkle. So that's all hooked up. Oh, let me try to trap this, make it where it's a little bit on the closed side. I don't know if I can do that necessarily. That way we don't get any kind of little bugs or critters that show up in here. I'll tell you the worst thing to get in your house. What do you guys think is the worst thing to get in your house, or even your RV for that matter? At least my own opinion on that. What do you think? I think a cricket. You get a cricket in your RV, oh my gosh. I think just making all kinds of racket, constantly chirping. You can't find it. It happens at night. That's the other thing. So when you go to find it, you know, it moves. Oh my word. I'll tell you what, these fans really pull some air through them. I've got that little window open, which isn't much. And before I opened these windows here, that window there and those two windows there, this is crooked. Let me set that straight. OCD. Anyways, before I open those, boy, I learned something. If you've got, you know, the wind isn't coming at the RV to some extent right now, but I turned on the hot water tank and I turned on the refrigerator. I put them on gas since I got to check my levels. These are so cool. I can't believe how well they work. See, it's like looking for a Bluetooth signal. Usually it's a little bit quicker than this. There we go. And then again, looking for the Bluetooth signal. Boom. So knowing that I have gas in there, I went ahead and turned on those two gas powered items. And again, the breeze is kind of blowing at the RV, but man, did the fumes just get drawn in. Yeah, that was crazy. I was like, God, that smells horrible. Like, what is that? Well, I found out what it is. Yeah, sprinkle. Hasn't quite hit yet, but it looks it. All right, it's all topped off. Topped off. That's the word, topped off. Completely. So much so, I need to close this door because I don't need to be in here for anything else. I took all my stuff out that was wet. I dried it all off. As far as the cords and that got wet the other day. And guess what I had to do? I actually had to put the really long step feet into these because I'm trying this out. Anyways, that's just temporary. You know the deal. All this will be gone one day. Won't have to worry about any of it. Not the RV. It's nice and cool in here. I don't think I need the fans on high. Let me take off my shoes because they are a little wet. Definitely don't need the fans on high. Let's go ahead and turn them off. Even though there's locks, I don't know if you guys know that, there's a lock here. Let me see if I can give you some light. I doubt it, but we can try it. Might make it worse. What you do is you pull this down on these Max Airs, you turn this, and again, the reason it's jumping like that is friction. It helps it stay open if you're driving down the road with them open, which there's nothing wrong with that. Anyways, then you lock it in place. Some of them don't have that lock. Some of the RVs don't have that lock to lock those things in place. Now, a caveat to running down the road with those vents open, those ducts, the way that they're aerodynamic, that the hoods that are on top of these things, there could be a chance that you're actually pulling air out of the RV. Well, when you're driving down the road, if you don't have any windows open, which I don't run down the road with any windows open, it's got to pull that air from somewhere. Where do you think the air is that it might pull from? It could pull it out of the drain, because there is air in the gray tank, and you've got 3 drains that go to the gray tank, maybe even more on your rig. There's a chance that it could pull the air past the seals in the commode and pull it up through that way. Also, there's a vent that's built into the plumbing here for the sink that it may draw past it. Now, I doubt it because it's got a one-way valve, but it still could. There's a chance of all that. So just be aware of that. If you drive down the road with your vents open, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But if you get in your RV and there's a weird smell, then you better not do it again. It's just like when you run these fans on high with the hoods open, sitting still, and you don't have any windows open, it's going to pull air from somewhere, trust me. It's just a major vacuum when that happens. All right, I think I'm done in here and out there. Maybe we can pick this up later, maybe another day. I don't know. Maybe we'll say hi to Heidi if we get a chance. We'll give her a howdy do on the camera here. But yeah, we're really excited because we've got some stuff in the works, and we just can't talk about it on this video yet. If I can post that other video, if I can edit the video, I have to finish out some stuff, and I'll post it. It'll be on this one. It's not anything groundbreaking, though. We got a lot of people that are thinking, oh, you're quitting your job, you're going on the road. And no, if you guys watch, it's not August yet. I don't know when you're watching this, but I'm sure I'm not going to post this in August. It's not that. It's not that, guys. But thanks for playing. Alright, YouTube, couple days later, and guess what? I finally get to talk about that whole 1,000 Trails membership because I posted the video. Thank God. I was wanting to tell you last video really bad, or the last portion of this video, which was just a few seconds ago for you. But yeah, so we got 1,000 Trails. But before I get into that, I've got some great news, some unbelievable news. You ready for this? A newer subscriber told me that I just need to stop talking and go RVing. So that's what we're doing. See, we're just leaving all this stuff here. Our son, he's sleeping. I'll just leave him a note, let him know that we're gone. He's going to have to take care of the house from now on. And Heidi's car, we'll just leave it parked here indefinitely. And yeah, that's awesome, isn't it? Well, I mean, that's what I should do, right? I mean, he said that I'm spending too much time talking, and what we're doing is a pipe dream. Oh, my word, it's hilarious. He called us RV pipe dream. I don't know, maybe it's tongue-in-cheek. I'm just kidding around with you. What am I doing today? I got keys. They're not my keys. Let's go talk about that. Nice day. It's not too hot right now. The rain moved through this morning last night. Heidi and I stayed in the RV because it was a nice, cool night. Matter of fact, it was very cool. And the lawn care company is supposed to come today. This is their second chance day. Hopefully they can mow. I don't know what that's going to be like. The gravel guy is supposed to come sometime this week. I don't know when that means. I mean, it's Tuesday now. Hopefully he don't come on Thursday because Heidi's having her operation. I think it's Thursday. I always get the day wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Thursday. Yeah, I think so. But today we're talking about the van and what I've got to do to it. Now, to give you guys an idea of what's happening here, especially for you guys that haven't watched anything about this before, and we have a whole van build series, and this is our son's van, and he wants to travel. I mean, especially now, he's really got the urge to leave out of here. And what happened was I was a little bit short-sighted on this. I'm the first one to admit whenever I miss something, and I definitely missed something on this one. This is an E150. We've added so much weight to it that he's wearing out his front tires because it's lifting the front end. I kind of seen that right before he went to the sugar beet harvest up in Minnesota, and I should have I was really saddened when I seen it, because he bought 70,000 mile tires, and I told him these tires will last you a long time. Unfortunately, they're wearing uneven because of what I just said. So what have I done? Well, this E150, I don't know if you can tell, but his leaf springs are basically flattening out in there. I don't know if it's coming across camera, but they're flattening out. You can see this one's actually like curving upward. So we need to add helper springs. I'm going to first just add one helper spring, and I think he's going to actually need two helper springs. One in front of the axle, one in the rear of the axle. They're inexpensive. They're like $100 for front and rear. You know, they're like $50 each. So that's for both sides. So we'll go ahead and add those on there. But the last thing I want to do also, because we got all this extra weight that we've added, is lift the van and make it roly-poly. So that's why the rear sway bar. Not only that, but he's got new shocks coming all the way around. We got to put new shocks on there. The shocks are old on this thing. I'm sure that will help also. The other thing, we're going to have to rediscuss this whole situation with him, but we got to wait until we get all that stuff added to see if he wants to remove some weight. The fact that he's got a solar panel on top now, that'll allow him to do a lot of stuff without firing up this generator. This generator seals off really well if it's stored with the valve closed on top. So he could lose this extra weight of this box back here. We could take this heavy box off, and he could put some kind of a lightweight secure box just to keep some stuff in, and also put a bike back here. It would be a lot less weight. He may not even need a box back here. I just kind of like the idea that his gasoline would be kept out here, though. I mean, that only makes sense. So we got to figure that part out. But again, that's after the suspension is done. So why is it that I'm so concerned? For you guys that don't know about this van, well, look at all the weight we added in here. You can see we put that on the left-hand side, and not only that, but then we built this cabinet, and we put that cabinet up there. That added weight. I also have two lead-acid batteries that are underneath that white cabinet up there. That added weight. We also have that refrigerator freezer that's up there that runs on 12 volt. That added weight. So all that extra weight that we added, that was my bad. Like I said, I didn't think about it. Plus, the tire used to be inside the van. Now the tire's on the back. That's some weight, and it's behind the axle. All this stuff is causing the weight on this van to be transferred to the back. So we got to fix that. The other thing then I've got to look at, unfortunately, he was telling me that he's got a sinking pedal, and basically, you guys have ever experienced that, is, you know, you push on the brake and it just kind of fades to the floor slowly. If you pump it, it comes right back, but then it slowly starts to fade, and you're not losing any fluid. There is no leaks. It's just there is a leak, but unfortunately it's in the master cylinder. Most likely it could be the booster. I seriously doubt it, though. It's almost all the time it's the master cylinder, especially when you guys do one of these numbers where you push on it, and then you lift your foot just a little, and then it goes even further, and you lift just a little and it'll go even further, and it'll do that all the way to the floor. That's almost always a master cylinder issue. So I think we need to replace the master cylinder. And finally, the last thing that I need to do is look at his throttle body. His throttle body is not opening all the way when he puts his foot to the floor. When you put the foot pedal inside to the floor, the throttle body doesn't open all the way to give him all the power that this van could have. And although that may help on gas mileage a little bit, I don't want him to be in that situation. Look at his dent. That's new. Look at that. That is a huge dent. That is a new dent. You can see the scuff marks. Looks like somebody kicked it. It's probably what happened. I think somebody, let me see how they would have done that. No, that wouldn't be right unless they used their heel. Even then, I don't know how that would work. But he's got a new dent there. That is brand new. I'll have to ask him. He probably, I don't know how it happened. But anyways, that's what I got to do today. Not put on the helper springs quite yet. We got to get the, I got to measure. That's the other thing. I got to measure the springs, find out how wide they are, how much room I have from front to rear. I think they're 2.5. I'm almost positive they're 2.5. But we have the sway bar in the garage to add a rear sway bar to the back of this van. Since we're going to lift it back up again and we got extra weight, I want to make sure that that weight doesn't get, to where this thing becomes a roly-poly going around the corners. I think that's the sway bar will help considerably, and like I said, that's in the garage. So let me get this on the ramps and take a look at it. Well, I'm back in the house. I put the van up on the ramps there, got underneath, and there's definitely some drilling that's going to be involved, and I'll be shooting a video of it for my other channel. So I think I'm going to wait till our son is done with his sleep routine, whatever it may be today, and I'm going to have him out there putting his hands on this, showing him what it's going to take, because this is kind of like a customized deal. What do I mean by customized deal? The sway bar setup that we got, it's a kit, and it's for the van, but it's for a lot of vans. It's from like 1975 to 1997 vans. Not only does it cover the F-150, or E-150 I should say, but it also covers the E-250 and E-350. So some of the instructions kind of overlap, and like for example, that one, it says use an existing hole on the shock mount, but you have to drill another hole in the shock mount. That's not a big deal. Again, I can drill it. You guys remember when I did the stable loads, I drilled the leaf springs. I had to drill 4 different holes in the leaf springs and get it done. Not a problem. Still, a little bit of work there. And not only that, but it says use the existing 5/8 hole in the frame to put a 1/2 inch bolt and a bracket on there. Well, there is a 5/8 inch hole, and it's measured out exactly where they said it should be, but the hole is only partial, meaning that the frame has a hole in it, but there is a reinforcement bracket that's on the inside of the frame in the C channel for extra strength, maybe. I'm not sure, but that needs drilled. Just wanted to touch base on something. Frank, I can't remember your last name. Lawlor. Frank Lawlor. Lawlor. Let's just say it that way. That sounds better. You mentioned in the video I posted a picture about that Good Sam Club with the the logo and everything. I just picked that off of something that I found online that was attached to them somehow. But I know that you had said that Marcus Lemonis, or whatever his name is, this dude, he's saying if you're not happy, I'm not happy. Well, seeing how he's Wally World, I'm sure that half the people aren't happy. I don't know. But just to let you know that he may have dropped the club, but yeah, I just got this in the mail. They didn't drop the logo. You still have the smiling face. I think they just dropped the name of Club, Good Sam Club. Hey, Frank, I got something else to ask you. Why is it that my old card, not that elite card that I just got, says Good Sam Club? I mean, I just got that last year. Yeah. Yeah, they still got Good Sam Club on there. And, of course, you got that smiley face, too. I think they still got that on there. I don't know. Maybe they're only doing it for certain areas. Maybe it's something they're going to transition to. But anyways, just thought I'd touch up on that. Okay, round 2. Now I know these guys do a much better job. Oh, they're bagging it. Nope, they're not bagging it. But I know they do a much better job. The guy that I just seen go by, he is one of the main guys there. He's not the owner, but he's one of the main crew guys. He's the one that does all the estimates and everything. As far as what's going on in the backyard, let me see if it's the same guy, because it sounds like a different mower to me. And yeah, it is a different mower. I don't know what he's doing, jerking around with this thing, his phone. Yeah, this is the guy that mowed last time. The whole thing is blowing grass in our driveway. They've got to not blow grass in the driveway. That's all there is to it. I don't care if it's in the flower beds. I don't care about any of that. All right, so I'm using my phone because the camera's charging, so we're going to hear wind noise and all that stuff. Let's see what I can complain about. Missed a spot. Missed a spot. They did all this string trimming, though. They cut our chives a little bit. They smell really good when you cut them. I like it. Every once in a while I bump them just so I can smell it. And they did good here. Everything's cut. Yeah, they did around those sticks over there. There's some grass in the driveway, but it's just from the tires of the mower. They did not blow grass in the driveway. They did a different mow in the front. That's fine. No grass. So far, so good. Let's see. No grass here. So far, so good. That's pretty good. Let's see. A little bit of grass. Little bit. Just a tiny, tiny bit. This is from the weed eating. That's why I don't do it over here. Yeah, got some grass here. Not bad. Just a little bit. Let's see. So far, so good. Isn't this riveting, guys? You love these videos, right? I'm fucking talking about my lawn getting mowed, huh? A little bit of grass got thrown on it. Let's see what it looks like back here. This is always where I try to avoid throwing grass up on these arms. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wipe those off. I am very happy with this. I don't have a problem with any of this. Like I said, for how cheap they are, it got done, and it was minutes. That means I get to go drink and I don't have to drive the mower. Although that was fun, I don't have to. I can just drink. Well, we're into the next day. I really didn't get nothing done yesterday. Yeah, sitting down at the desk there and talking about those cards. Oh, you know what? Actually, I did get something done, sort of. You know, the whole cap situation. Well, I finally spoke my mind.
I don't have an answer for you.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've got 2 YouTube channels with 50,000 subscribers, and I'm getting ready to just release about a 30-minute video on this whole process and just hammer your company about all this. And it takes a lot for me to get to this point. I mean, a lot. And I don't know
I'm doing my best to get answers for you.
Seriously. I mean, that's is that the best? I mean, this was back on April 14th.
Okay, so I'm just going to stop you.
Yeah.
I was not involved in this process from the beginning.
So,
I think I've talked to you on the phone twice.
you did.
I have sent numerous emails trying to get answers for you.
Okay.
Unfortunately for me, it involves a lot of research because I do not know anything about this case.
Mm-hmm.
Erica has pushed it off to others. Others have pushed it back to me. So I am trying to get the answers that you've asked and try to get your $300 refund.
Right.
But I can't get either dealer to agree to give you the $300 refund. So I'm trying to get answers for you. You bear with me. As I said, we just discussed this again this morning.
But I'm saying your best, and there was no communication at all about any of this. I mean, it sounds like you're getting somewhere,
Okay, so,
but you didn't call.
so today alone, I'm just gonna fill you in and let you know, today alone, I have got 37 voicemails that I am trying to call people back. If I don't have an answer for you, maybe that's not the best thing for me to do at this point, but if you left me the same message and I don't have an answer for you and I haven't responded to your emails because I don't have a good answer, I apologize.
Is there any escalation procedures to make sure that this doesn't happen anymore? I mean, honestly, I understand your situation. I've been in customer service. I understand how all this works. I'm just curious, at what point does somebody make some sort of a process improvement so this doesn't happen again? And when people are leaving departments, right? Well,
That's what I was hired for.
so as far as like Erica's involvement, when she left, I mean, did everybody just think that nothing was going on any level? That there was nobody should ever ask her, hey, do you have anything outstanding? Is there something we should be concerned about? I mean, that seems kind of like normal to me. Again, that's just for me having a customer service background. I would want to know if somebody that was working any amount of time in my department, whether on loan or permanent, or they got fired or they just left, that something was outstanding. I mean, it doesn't really, it just doesn't bode well on my end, because I mean, all this stuff that you're telling me are, should I have to understand?
We're not even supposed to be dealing with you.
But
Our communication is supposed to be direct with the dealer.
so should I have to understand that? Should I have to understand that the dealer is so fed up with you guys that they don't want to deal with it anymore? Should I have to understand that? I mean, what part am I not understanding?
Anything before March. I can't speak to anything before March because I didn't come in until the second or third week of March.
So, because of that,
I've been putting out fires since I've been here.
I get it. Like I said, I've been in those situations. I've had employees leave, and before they left, they've dispatched trucks. They cross-dispatch and just sent them all across the country because they were disgruntled before they left. But when the customers called and asked where their freight was, I wasn't yelling at them saying, or telling them or explaining to them, hey, listen, I just got on this and you're going to have to wait because I don't even know what's going on yet. I mean, I didn't get the opportunity to say that because they don't care. They don't care about my operations and what's happening internally. They don't care about that. They don't care about the process that I have to go through or the SOP. They just want their problem solved. And it's just not being solved. And it's like every time, even though your excuses and your reasoning sounds legitimate, and I understand 100%, since I've been involved so long, all these people that you start talking about, I understand what's happened. It still doesn't, at the end of the day, help with any kind of satisfaction at all, even on the dealer level. I mean, like I said, the dealers, that should give you an idea right there. Neither one of them want to deal with that on any level because the little bit of interaction they have had on the cap has not been good. It wasn't good at all. Nothing good's coming from it. They're tired of it themselves. All of them acknowledge, yep, there's something going on there. There's a problem. That's how I got involved with Joe Hopkins on this problem initially, because the dealer basically washed their hands and said, hey, that's between you and them. And that was all the way back after the very first problem I had with the cap well over a year ago. Apparently the girl that's working it, she is trying, but apparently there's some issues there. I don't know. We'll have to see what comes of that. There may be a video, like I mentioned, that talks about that a little bit more. I don't know. I just don't know. Heidi is working until about 3 today, I think it is. She has her surgery tomorrow. They bumped it up. They bumped it up to 5:30 in the morning, which she's happy with. I'm happy with. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. Fingers crossed. Prayers to the above, all that stuff. So hopefully it goes well. By the time you're seeing this, maybe she'll be in recovery. She'll be at the house here for a while. I don't know what the recovery is even going to be like for that. Hopefully it's seamless. So our van, well, I didn't do anything on it because I wanted to get my son involved, and we've got, believe it or not, we're supposed to have storms coming through. Now, we had rain come through last night. Wasn't bad. Heidi and I slept in the RV. I learned something about the RV. This is so awesome. I don't know, you guys may not find it as awesome as I do, but I sure in the heck do. But what a beautiful day so far. It's 80 some degrees. Yeah, they did a good job on the lawn. I'm happy with it. It looks good. They were very conscientious about getting the string trimming done and everything. Oh, we already talked about that. So last night, or yesterday, I went ahead and broke out the generator, the Honda generator, and ran the air conditioner inside here. I ran the 15,000 BTU air conditioner, and we had it on for a few hours to get it really nice and cool in here, because we wanted to sleep in the RV last night, and I figured as long as we got it cool to start with, that we will be good moving forward throughout the night with the windows open, because it was going to be into the 70s. Some reason, and I still don't know why, I started thinking about everything, and I think it had to do with the fact that the RV was so nice and cool inside. It was so delightful, it was so pleasant, and I was turning off the air, and I thought, boy, you know, it's a shame that I just can't continue to run the air. Now, I will have to say, I didn't necessarily look at all the stuff that I should have initially, years ago even, and I don't know why I didn't, but let me tell you, this garage is old. It's from 1963. Look at the spiders. Go spiders. Anyways, the garage is from 1963. These garage doors are from 1963. Even though we painted them, it looks like they're getting a little dirty. And the mess is being contained by something that was built in 1963. Well, I'll tell you that I was concerned about the electrical, even though it's a pretty good size cable that comes in from the house. This is where the power comes in at, and then the power goes throughout the garage. You can see here, it goes across, I don't know if you see that black cable, and it goes over to here. I plugged in the RV and I put the kilowatt meter in here, and I watched it, and there's a camera right here. I set this camera on it all night long and put it on the infrared so it could see in the dark. It's a Wise camera. Of course, I'll put the link down below. Thanks for asking. I have a few Wise cameras throughout the house and stuff, and this one used to be in the RV. I went ahead and took it out for this reason. And I ran the air conditioner last night, all night long, and whenever the air compressor would kick on, it would spike up to about 13 amps just for a couple of seconds, and then it would settle down to 11. Now that's running the 13,000 BTU air conditioner that's in the bedroom, and we ran the air all night long and had no problems whatsoever. It was perfect. It never spiked higher than 13 during startup. Now we did put the fan on low, so it was low cool setting. It wasn't high cool setting where the fan wasn't on high. We didn't need to have that. We just wanted low cool, and the RV stayed cool all night long. We stayed right around 67, 68 degrees. And we did that with just a normal extension cord, and it's because we have those micro air soft starts up there. I mean, those things are awesome. I'm still leery of it because it's so delightful. It's so delightful. And what's that? What did you just ask? Of course I'll give you the links for the micro air soft starts. I didn't even think about it. Oh my word. Yeah, I've been really happy with them. No issues. And again, of course, you know, our Honda generator, that 2200 generator, runs either or rooftop air conditioner, no problem. Yeah, I'm really happy. That was nice. We slept in the camper with the air last night and told Heidi, said, you know what this means? I said, that means all summer long we can just go ahead and stay in the camper whenever it's sitting in the driveway. Hopefully we don't have to, but you guys got to remember, we're trying to stay more focused. Thanks, Dave McConnell, one of our patrons, Dave. Sometimes we need that spoken to us, and he did. We talked about going camping and a couple of other things, and he said, stay focused, you know, stay to plan, stick to the plan. And the plan isn't to go camping. The plan is to get all this stuff sold so we can go and travel. All right, that's it for the time being. I got to go back in. I'm editing a video. Hopefully you guys have already seen it. And it's on those levelers, the beach lane levelers. Those things are awesome. I like them a lot. Well, here we are. And who's we? Heidi and I. And why isn't she on the camera? It's because Heidi's getting her surgical procedure done. Her appointment was originally supposed to be for 8:30. I have a problem with, you know, just timelines. I don't understand. I mean, can you imagine if I called up my boss, and if I had a boss still, and said, hey, listen, I'm going to be running a little late. I was supposed to be in 7, so I'll probably be there about 7:15. And then I come in 3 hours later. Oh yeah, I know I said 7:15, but oh well. So here's the deal. Her appointment was originally for 8 o'clock today, and she got a call a couple days ago, and they said, hey, we're going to move up your appointment. You're going to be the first one in. So you got to be here at 5:30. Okay, 5:30, cool. So Heidi and I got up this morning, I don't know, around 4. She went to bed. She went to bed at a decent time. I think she went to bed right around 9. She actually fell asleep at 9. And I didn't fall asleep till about 10:15 then, even though I was in bed. So we make our way here. We get here. I drop her off at this place. I'll flip you guys around and show you it in a second. And Heidi, she went in, and here's the thing, you know, she didn't have a cigarette or anything to eat since 9 o'clock when she went to bed. Well, she gets pretty cranky if she doesn't have a cigarette, I'll just let you know. And there's a lot of people that way. I mean, it's just not her, but I mean, she's like, when she don't have a cigarette, it's just like having a thorn in your shoe or something, and you have to walk. So everybody around you that, you know, she really doesn't have much time for anybody whenever she's in that mood, and she don't like the way she feels. So she didn't have a cigarette. She hasn't had anything to eat. And we get here, like I said, at 5. 5:15 actually we get here. And I drop her off, and then I'm sitting here and I thought, okay, I'm very tired. I'm still very tired. Let's watch a movie. You know, I'll just watch a movie. So I started watching a movie, and then all of a sudden I see her walking through the parking lot. So I push pause, and she comes out and she says, oh, she goes, I forgot to do something. I don't remember what she did. Maybe. Oh, I know what it is. She left her purse here, and then she gave me a card to get redeem for one beverage of your choice and choose one of the following, either a baked good, piece of fruit, yogurt, or toast. So it's nice. I mean, the place is, you know, giving me something if I wanted to eat, but I was a little bit more hungry than that anyways, and we're not far from a McDonald's and stuff, and I like McDonald's breakfast. Even though I don't care for McDonald's food overall, I don't mind their breakfast. So she went back in then, and I started watching a movie again. Then she came back out, and she says, oh, she goes, I'm getting my morning exercise. And she forgot she had her wedding rings on. So she had told me at that point, she goes, hey, she goes, I talked to them, and they said it should be about 3 hours for the procedure. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, if it 5:15, she walked back. It's probably 5:45 now. So maybe 9 o'clock. Let's just say 9 o'clock. So I'm sitting here, and I ended up going to McDonald's, coming back, watched the rest of the movie, and then I was just thinking about, well, I'm getting really tired, and I'm gonna go ahead and just put my head back. Just see how good these seats are in this truck. Maybe I have to, you know what? Maybe I'll just lay down in the back. I forgot we got a full-blown seat back there that's easy to get to for the most part. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll go lay down back there. I could lay down in the bed of the truck. Oh, we've got all that, you know, bed rug. But nonetheless, getting way off topic like normal. Just as I was getting ready to put the seat back, I get a phone call, and it says Youngstown. Well, I figured we're in Boardman. It's got to be the thing. So I answer it, and she says, hi, this is so-and-so from whatever doctor. And she says, and I'm thinking, oh, cool, she's already done. This is awful quick. It is 8 o'clock. I'm thinking, well, all right, maybe something, everything went earlier, good or something. And she gets back, it's not that's not the word that I'm getting. She says, I was just letting you know, keeping you up to date, that Heidi is just going back now for her procedure. It's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. So I said, great, super. I said, just out of curiosity, I said, about how long will it be from this point forward in the whole thing? She, I don't really know, but we'll keep you up to date. We'll keep you posted when she gets out. Oy, yay. So, anyways, I'm going to take a nap. Hopefully this goes good. Fingers crossed, everything goes good. Oh yeah, I was supposed to show you guys this place. So this is a medical surgical center of some kind. It's not a hospital, but seems to be pretty busy. There was only 2 cars in the parking space whenever we pulled in, but it's pretty full now. So hopefully everything goes smooth. Well, as you can see, it's raining outside, and I took advantage of the back seat. I was dead asleep. I don't even know how long I've been asleep, but the doctor himself, the one that did the surgery, he said that she is out of surgery, and they did exactly everything that they said and wanted to do. Everything went great. He said that she will be a little sore because they fill you with gas. I mean, everybody knows this stuff, but they fill you with gas to keep everything inflated and spaced out inside of you. And they gave her some medication, and today she's going to take it extremely easy. Nothing but pretty much rest. I just seen my hand. I'll show it to you here in a second. And she'll can start doing stuff tomorrow, tonight, whenever she decides she can start moving around and feeling better, that she can get something to eat. Of course, she's got to clean her wounds with just soap and water. He said nothing spectacular, but yeah, I was out. The back seat's not too bad. I was sleeping with my head on that side of the truck. And I had my hand underneath my head, and I'm using this backrest that Heidi uses when we travel long distances. And I slipped my hand underneath. Let me show you. Look at that. That's when I was sleeping with my head at the other side of the truck. So I got some kind of measles or something. Oh my, it looked like I'm a golf ball. Wonder if I could run faster if I do that to my whole body. All right, so we're back home. Heidi said, don't put me on camera, whatever you do. I still snuck in a snapshot. She is like La La Land. The anesthesia is really heavy on her. And anyway, so she's in the bedroom. She's taking a little nap. I had to go uptown and get her some pain pills that I thought the doctors just called in those prescriptions and then you could go get them. But anyways, so I just came back from doing that, but still everything seems pretty good. She's not feeling any weird signs or pains or anything out of the ordinary, so good. All right, so Jim and Brandy just sent us this package. I cut it open and I didn't even realize what it was, and looks like they sent us some swag. That's kind of cool, huh? Let's see what this is. Ooh, it's 1,000 trails, and it's a backpack too. This is what all the hip kids have. You know how I know? Because I seen 2 motorcycle riders go down the street the other day, and both of them had these string style backpacks on. I think it was more of a bag type, but when you pull this tight, I mean, it could be exactly what they had. That's cool. That's really cool. Thank you guys. If you guys are tuning in, look at this office. It's just like everything else in this house is a disaster. We have a realtor coming here in a couple of days. So basically this looks like all of our 1,000 Trails membership and our RPI information. So I need to go to my other office, also known as the bathroom, and read through all this if I can get a chance. Heidi's just kind of passed out. Maybe I'll wait for her to come around and In the meantime, I'm getting contacted through Facebook Messenger, and I think I might have another review coming up on a really good product, something I'm really excited about. So let me get off here and go check that out. Good morning, YouTube. I'm allowed to put Heidi on the camera. She don't want to be on the camera. But she's into her now normal day of recovery, I guess you could say. Yesterday was kind of like blah, because she was on all the stuff, under the effects of the gas, anesthesia, that's it. Yep, but she's better now. So what's the deal with the way you feel? What's the deal with the way you feel?
I can feel my incisions today. They don't hurt. They're just uncomfortable. And it feels like somebody took my arms and yanked on them for hours. And I got fat lip.
Yeah.
My throat feels much better today.
Yesterday she sounded like, well, she is a smoker.
Yeah.
But she sounded like a chain smoker at midnight after drinking all night.
I feel a little rough, but I did take a pain pill, so that might feel a little loopy today. Okay,
so now that Heidi's got this surgery over with, she's got to go through the recovery, which could be up to 6 weeks. So we'll have to see how that works out. She can't do any heavy lifting or anything like that. What's our next step? What do you want to do next? I mean, we have stuff to do to get the RV ready and stuff like that, but what do you want to do next?
We need to sell our stuff.
Yeah. So to put it in perspective, what we're waiting for today, as I'll pan back out so Heidi don't feel so conscious about being on camera. As I've mentioned many times before, the gravel guy is supposed to come here this week. That's what he said last week, and today's Friday, so hopefully that happens. So why do I want to wait for the gravel? Well, because then it'll give me the ability to move the RV around a little bit more freely and use this backyard, which is wet. We've been getting rain. We wanted to put another layer of just loose stuff in different spots or different areas of the driveway. And that was the reason we was going to have him come out initially. But the more we thought about it, if we had a pad over here to put the trailer out of the way, it would make it a little bit easier for a lot of reasons. And one of the reasons is a yard sale. Now, I don't know if that's what we'll do. We may actually leave the RV there for the yard sale, but it would probably work best if we had gravel over here, just to give us the option when we come back from wherever it is that we're going to put it here. But there's a few things that we definitely want to get accomplished, and we're moving forward. We're moving forward. We have to have a realtor come in and give us an idea of what we should be doing with our house as far as updating, repairing, whatever, because we learned something just talking to her over the phone, and one was positive, one was negative. Now, the positive one is that she said usually for the septic to pass the test, they come out and they put dye in it. And if they put dye in it and then it doesn't show up in the yard after 30 minutes or, I don't know, a day, I don't remember what she said, but it'll pass. Well, nothing comes up in our yard. You can put all the dye you want out in our septic and it's not going to show up in the yard. It just doesn't happen. But the negative thing, so that'd be nice. If our septic pass, that means that we can go through, traditional bank financing and all that, because that's really the only zoning that we had in play out here. There's no other zoning. There's nothing really to speak of as far as zoning is concerned in this area, but septic, and that only went into place. When did they start that?
2010.
Yeah, 2010. If we would have sold this house in 2010, 10 years ago. They don't care. They didn't care. They were just been somebody come by and buy the house, and the county don't care. They just didn't care. But anyways, that changed, probably for the best, I'm sure. But a lot of these houses, are older, and they, septic on some of them wasn't taken care of. In our case, it was. a lot of houses, like the one up the street, a few houses, they don't even have a septic. They have all their water leave their house and go down a big hill in an underground gravel pit. Basically, it's just a dry well. It's been like that for years. So we even know of a house down by the lake that used to be that way. We lived in it. It was just a cesspool. It was just a big block, concrete block pit that all the water, septic, everything went into, and then it just slowly dissolved out of the block, between the cracks of the block, into the ground. It just the way it was. And if there was too much water being used, it would actually go up to a certain level, and there was a pipe that ran to the lake. So anyways, getting back to our situation, the negative part is, okay, well, something loud's coming. I don't think Heidi and I is going to miss that. So the good news is that's what gets us where we could sleep at truck stops and we don't mind, because the noise isn't as bad as what it is here. So the other thing is out this way. Now in the winter, and on some of our older videos, if you guys haven't seen it, I'm going to try to step out here. I'm on my bare tootsies though. I'm a tenderfoot. Out here on the on basically line with the house, you'll see in the winter that the ground sometimes don't freeze going out to the ditch, and that's because all of our downspout plumbing used to come down those two spouts, and there's a pipe and a T basically right about where that elbow is now. Now I added that elbow. I'm the one that did that. It used to go straight down into the ground, and again there was a T-fitting. That's because that T-fitting, there's another pipe that comes from the basement, and it's our sump pump. And our sump pump pumps, of course, all the groundwater from the foundation out that same pipe, again, all the way out to the ditch. And just so happened that the rainwater would tie into it. All right, over the years, and I'm talking, this is going back 1955, actually before that. So it's been grandfathered in all these years because that's just the way it is. I mean, that's the way most of this stuff is out here. If you know, you can't necessarily force a homeowner that's lived in a house for many, many years to all of a sudden just completely rechange everything because a new rule or law went into effect. So they grandfather in the older homes that have already had this going on. Now, whenever you sell though, that changes everything. When you go to sell your house, you're basically opening up the inspection and falling under inspections. Well, like I said, there was some rules that came into play years ago, well after this was made, that says you can't run, of course, gray water into a ditch. I can't have gray water emptying out on top of the ground. So basically right now as it stands, our bathroom that was added, the indoor plumbing was added in the 60s, and that's when the well went into place. I'm sorry, the septic tank went in. Our well's underneath that hose, that reel there, hose reel. It used to be, of course, way up by the road. Matter of fact, you could kind of see a little bit out there. Well, I'm not going to point that out. That's ridiculous. You guys can't see it. I know where it is. But anyways, that's where the well used to be for the house. Then they moved it back here. We have great well water. I mean, there's a high iron content, but the well never goes dry. Our aquifer is huge, and it's at the right height that there's no smell that comes from the water that comes in. Sulfur is a big thing in this area. We don't have any sulfur smells. It's really great, and we don't have any problems. The pump is actually in the basement, but the jet, the well jet head is down in the well, of course. I don't know how many feet, but we've never had to ever get into that well. I made a new top for it out of concrete because it had got deteriorated, and Heidi and I poured a new concrete slab and put it over there. But other than that, we haven't done anything with it out here. So getting back to what I was saying, when the septic or the indoor plumbing was put in, they put in the septic tank at that time. How many gallons is our septic tank? Yeah, we have 1,000-gallon septic tank out there, and we've only had to have it pumped a few times. We had a bad junction box that we replaced or had replaced. Other than that, We've never had any problems with it. So the bathroom, when it was added on, which, as I'm kind of pointing this direction, see this part of the house, that was added on at the same time. This part is the main section of the house, and this actually used to be like the porch here. This used to be the patio area, which I'll show you a picture here. And you can see this is what the house used to look like years ago. This is when Heidi's grandparents first took over the home. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. This is after. This picture was taken, I think, in 1955 or 1956, because they did move it back at that point. And then, like I said, the indoor plumbing went in, and they added those two additions in the 60s. I think it was like 64 that went in. So the plumbing for the septic got connected to the new bathroom. Looking at the back of the house, you can tell also where they added on. So this is a bedroom. There's a bathroom in between the two bedrooms. The front bedroom I already showed you. That's the part that kind of stuck out on the house. So as far as the bathroom plumbing, it comes out underneath that window. I got to pressure wash the house over here. These trees are making a little green. But that middle window's for the bathroom. And directly underneath that is the plumbing. And it's basically a drag line, I guess you can call it. It's just terracotta pipe that comes down and stops about here and empties into this 1,000-gallon tank that's here. There's an opening here that I put a riser on, and then there's another opening right about, I think, here that I don't have a riser on. We would have to dig it up if we needed to. And then it goes to the junction box. One line goes out this way, one line goes out this way, and there's another line that actually goes through here that the tree roots have gotten into, but it still works. And every once in a while I take a sewer jetter and I'll run it through those lines just to keep them clear, which you're not supposed to do because it kills the bacteria, but nonetheless, there's the old well cover there, matter of fact, that used to be there. There's another one, like I said, it's underneath all that. So other than that bathroom that has the of course, the commode, the bathtub, we don't have a shower upstairs, just the bathtub, and then the sink up there, that's the water that runs into the septic. Everything else, all of our other gray water, the kitchen sink, it has a drain that comes off of it, and it goes out through the basement and into that line that I talked about that runs to the ditch. Just a little bit further is another line that comes from our sump pump. Now, over the years, the sump pump also had other stuff emptied into it, into the sump hole that's in the basement that her grandfather installed. I mean, this was in the 70s they put the sump pump in the 70s, because the house, the basement, never got water in it until in the 70s they built an allotment way back off into that area. And when they did that, they broke some kind of drainage tile. And since then, the church was built with a big parking lot. We have a roller rink that's up the street with a big parking lot. There's been stores, businesses that added, and all that stuff causes the water not to have a place to soak into, so it kind of runs off. So anyways, the basement started getting water into the basement, starting into the 70s. So her grandfather dug a hole in the basement floor. He basically put a 5-gallon bucket in and then cemented around it and then pulled the bucket out. And they put a pedestal pump in there. And that's our sump pump. In the meantime, he also put the dishwasher discharge into the sump pump. He also put the washing machine discharge into the sump pump. He also put a shower downstairs, and he put a discharge into the sump pump. Our drainage for, of course, our air conditioning, that goes into the sump pump. And let's see what else. The water softener discharge. Let's see. What else goes into the sump pump? What are we missing?
I think that's the sink.
No, the sink don't go there. The sink goes out on its own, remember?
Oh, that's right. The wash basin.
Yeah, we have a sanitary wash basin down there. The softener, the shower, the washer, and then the drainage for the dehumidifier, and then the the furnace and the heater, which that water's not a big deal. That's distilled water, so that can go out. So what we have to do is replumb. That's what we were told so far. Holy cow, is that a long story or what? Just to hear that. I think I can go get the mail on my feet, my bare feet. I'm gonna go see what we got in the mail today. But that's what they're coming for. She's coming. She's gonna go through the house and tell us, hey, maybe you should put new carpet in because it'll raise the value or whatever. You know, we want to know what modifications to make, because you could spend a lot of money for no reason at all. I mean, that's like putting $2,000 worth of solar on top of an RV, and then the people that buy, you know, and you're selling your RV, and the people that buy it have no intention. They're going to go park it somewhere. They're going to put it in a park for the rest of its life. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to invest any money on stuff that we shouldn't. But the gravel, that's something we want to add, and it's not going to deter from the value, and that's going to help us out with getting the RV in and out, because you just heard we're going to be having to make modifications to that. Now, with that said, are we going to be in Ohio for the winter?
More than likely, no.
Yeah, more than likely, no. If we have something goofy go on, maybe. But all right, tell them bye for today. We'll pick this up later. Editing video. Yeah, I think I'd rather be outside. It's much nicer out there, but can't do it. So what's going on here? Well, Heidi's in here. Let's go see Heidi real quick. Is she napping? No. Look at her productivity.
I'm recovering.
She's recovering. This is her recovery status. So what are we doing here? We're actually waiting for somebody. Who are we waiting for, Heidi?
A realtor.
We're going to go ahead and check out a realtor. How do you feel about that? Alexa, turn on Heidi light.
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah. I think so too. Our house is not perfect. We know that. But we're not asking for a perfect price. We don't need a perfect price. We just want a fair price. This house does a lot of stuff for us, and it's very messy. Look at all those boxes, because we know we're going to be selling stuff and packing stuff up. So we've been saving our boxes. So that's all we're really doing today. I'm going to get this video up. We've got reservations in a lot of places. We'll have to see how that works out, but so far it looks like we will not be in the snow this winter. That's right. For the first time in, well, let's see, for me, 1988 was the last time I was, nope, I can't even say that. I came home on leave. Yeah, so 89, 88, 87. I came home on leave then too during Christmas, so I got to see snow, experience snow. The last time I have not been in a winter that, you know, the snow wasn't involved on some level, even if I was just visiting the state, was 1977. So I've seen snow every year in the winter since 1977 when we moved to Ohio. Ugh, tired of it. All right, guys. Yeah. Oh, and I can't wait. We finally get, we've had our haircut scheduled, and we finally get a haircut on this Thursday coming up. So next time I'm on camera, if it's not a live thing, I'll have short hair. So will Heidi, or Heidi will have her hair cut. She won't have short hair. All right, guys. I'm closing this out. As always, we hope to see you out there. Bye.